Hello, this is Daryl Wilkes. This is the fetal pig dissection, doing a quick review of my work area to make sure I have no outside resources. I was not able to print off the actual worksheet, so I just copied that information onto a scratch piece of paper. So this is the fetal pig dissection. Going down the list, the head region is going to be here. This is the head, followed by the neck region. The trunk region is going to include the thoracic cage and the vertebrae. You also have the tail region down here, and the gender. So this is going to be a male pig. Still on the exterior, the axial skeletal region is going to include the thoracic cage and also the vertebrae here. So that's the thoracic or the axial region. The skull, this is going to be the skull of the fetal pig, exposed there. Let me get a pointer. This is the skull of the fetal pig. The vertebral column is going to be right here. So this is the vertebrae going down. Thoracic cage, you can see here. You can see the intercostal muscles in between the rib bones there. Let's see, the appendicular skeletal region. So appendicular skeletal region is going to include all of the extremities. So the forward legs and then the hind legs. So that's going to include the shoulder girdles in the legs down here as well. Let's see, the humerus. So the humerus is the largest, most proximal bone in the front extremities. You can see it right there. That is the humerus. Comes down here and then connects into the other bones down here. The femur is the counterpart on the hind legs. So as you can see, let me try to angle this. You can see right here, that is the humerus. So that the humerus runs along here. Or excuse me, this is the femur. This is the femur of the body. The humerus is the one I previously showed. This is the femur. The tibia is right here. And a joint capable of flexion. So this joint here is capable of flexion. As those muscles flex, it's going to pull that joint closed as such. Likewise, if the muscles on the other side contract, it's going to pull the foot forward. All right, internal. So the pectoralis major is going to be right here. The latissimus dorsi is going to run right behind that shoulder girdle right there. The deltoids. These are going to be the deltoids here. The rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis are going to run right along here, and the transverse abdominis are going to be underneath that, running this way. Gluteus medius. That is going to be the gluteus medius right here. And that was the last of the identifiable locations on the fetal pig. So on to the questions. Did you notice a covering on the spinal column or the spinal cord, and what is it? So I did, and that is the vertebrae. The vertebrae is responsible for both protecting that spinal column and also providing structure for the rest of the body, like the shoulder girdle, the pelvis, things like that. White and gray matter. So the gray matter is going to be on the exterior of the brain and the core of the spinal cord. White column is going to be the core of the brain, and also it's going to consist of the nerve fibers across the rest of the body. In a sense, gray matter is the processing matter. So if I touch this foot here, that white matter is going to send that signal to the gray matter in the spinal column and the brain. It will process that information, return a signal down the white matter, and tell the foot what it needs to do. However, the white matter is responsible for non-voluntary processes such as digestion, reactively pulling your hand away from a hot stove, things like that. Explain how insulin regulates blood sugar. Insulin is released by the pancreas, the beta cells in the pancreas, when the body senses high blood sugar. What insulin does is it signals target cells all over the body, and it signals for those cells to uptake that glucose to use as fuel, and it also lowers that blood sugar level. Endocrine versus exocrine. So endocrine glands are unique because they excrete their product, which is hormones, directly into the bloodstream, and allows for circulation all over the body in that communication. That's in contrast to exocrine glands, which secrete through ducts. It's typically going to be enzymes. They secrete those enzymes through ducts, specifically into their target tissue. So like a salivary gland would release saliva into the mouth. So that is my lab number 2. Thank you for your time.